Evening peeps, good evening everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. All right, let's have a look and see what there is to talk about today. There's always something interesting from the world of boxing. Before we do that, very quickly, I have the football channel up and running now. Ade OLADIPO Talks Football. Link is in the description. Loads of content coming your way. I'm going to collab with some of the biggest football podcasters out there, Rory Jennings, Flex, Robbie Lyle, so on and so forth. I have just done a video myself listing my top 10 Premier League centre-backs. Not easy. That video will be up in the next couple of days. So yeah, look out for that and other content coming your way. So yeah, link is in the description. Please, please, please subscribe. All right. There is some interesting things to talk about. I shall not talk about this one. Frank Warren and Queensberry to sue TKO and Seller for $1 billion. Wow. This is crazy, isn't it? I've obviously seen these two, and I say these two, I am referring to Frank Warren and Turkey together at events. I've covered the Riyadh season events now for the last, I don't know what, 2.5, 3 years. It feels longer than that, but I'm guessing that is that. And those two have been sat down together for most of those events. So to see this happened or happening is a bit wild. I have seen Ring Magazine posted something on their Twitter page as well, going back and forth. I mean, this goes over my pay grade. This goes over my head. As you guys know, it's a weird position for me to even speak about it. So the best thing to do is not until I get and gather more information. But I did say to you guys the other day, I did a video and I said, there's way more coming. You thought Conor Benn was big news. There's maybe even bigger news. And I was referring to this. So I've known about this for over a week. And here we are. I think the Telegraph were the ones to first report it. Now I think everyone has jumped on and is now reporting it. It is a shame because I thought Frank and Turkey and Frank and Riyadh season and Seller done some really good events. Honestly, some really good events. I was in Saudi for some fantastic events. Obviously, we had some fantastic events over here as well. So it is a shame that it's sort of been, it's come to this. But this is boxing, people. Honestly, this is boxing. It's an interesting sport. But yeah, we wait and see how this one's going to play out. All right, I've just got back from central London. I sat down with Daniel Dubois. I sat down with Fabio Wardley. I did a face-off as well. You guys can see that in the thumbnail. I hosted the press conference. For the face-off, it wasn't... I approached that face-off thinking, these two aren't going to say anything. Well, not necessarily Fabio. I know Fabio will say stuff, but I've done a few face-offs with Daniel Dubois. He doesn't really say much. I mean, you really have to poke the bear to get anything out of him. It was actually pretty lively. It was pretty lively. It's the first face-off I've done with him where it was just him. I've done two prior to that. Obviously, the AJ one, which did kick off, and the Joseph Parker one, which didn't really kick off, where he's had Frank Warren next to him. This time it was just himself. I thought there was maybe an opportunity to have Sam Jones next to him and to have Michael, who obviously looks after Fabio Wardley, next to him. As you saw, those two went off at the presser. I thought it would have been a good idea, but that wasn't the case. So it was just Fabio and Daniel. And you know what it is? It reminded me a bit of Beterbiev Bivol in the sense that both guys really believe what they're saying. Like sometimes I do think that some fighters are trying to convince themselves that I'm going to win. You know, when they're a massive underdog and like, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. And they're saying all the right things, but I'm looking at them thinking, yeah, I don't know if I believe you and I don't know if you believe you. But these guys, and by the way, I think this is a 50-50 scrap. You could feel sorry that they both believe exactly what they're saying. Like I said to him at one point, you know, I like to always end with, tell that person, or Fabio, you tell Daniel. Don't tell me, tell Daniel how you're going to win. And Fabio was so confident with, I'm going to drown you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I was like, oh. And then I said to Daniel, you tell Fabio. And it was the usual, by any means necessary. And it's the way in which he says it. He says it with so much conviction that I believed him. I was like, oh my God, okay, he's telling the truth. So, look, it wasn't fireworks. You guys know, I'll be honest with you, but they don't always have to be fireworks. Like if someone flips a table, they flip a table. But I've done some good ones where it's just a conversation, like Benavidez, just a conversation. And there's almost disrespect because they know it's going to be a painful war. And I said that to both of them as well. Like, this is going to hurt, which is an obvious statement, right? But these are two punchers. Sorry to interrupt the video, but this is very important and I'll be quick. If you're one of these people that watch the channel and don't hit that subscribe button or forgot to hit that subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. It's really important. It will help grow the channel. I am trying to chuck different types of content on the channel as well. I am trying to get to 200,000 subscribers. I know it sounds crazy, but who knows, right? By the end of the year. And I need you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. All right, back to the video. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight for however long it lasts, which I don't think will be very, very long. The press conference was a bit more better, a bit more spicier. As I mentioned, Sam Jones was on the top table, and I think Sam's great at what he does. Great. Like I mentioned the other day, didn't I, that Lewis Crocker almost needs a spokesperson. He needs someone. And I'm not saying Sam is that guy, but you kind of need a guy like Sam because he will help you when you don't feel comfortable and don't want to talk. And not every fighter wants to talk. But in this day and age of social media clips, and you have to kind of talk. And so when you get a fight like Daniel Dubois, I think it helps so much having a Sam Jones there. Because Sam Jones would do all the heavy lifting, and he did. As soon as the mic got to Sam Jones, the room just kind of elevated a little bit. So look, I look forward to it. I think it's an incredible heavyweight fight. Obviously, no undercard announcers yet, but the winner of this fight will have to fight Alexander Usyk, surely. Insane that if it's Daniel Dubois, we don't want to see it a third time. If it's Fabio Wardley, then most definitely. If Daniel Dubois wins, it has to be Caballero. That's the route. If Wardley wins, Usyk. If Dubois wins, Caballero. I think that's the route you take it. But very much looking forward to it. Irish legend Katie Taylor, hopeful of Croke Park finale ahead of 2026 retirement. Yeah, Katie has said that one fight left. It will be in the summer, and she wants to go to Croke Park. She's always wanted to go to Croke Park. My issue with that is, who can feel that? And some might say, well, Katie can. Croke Park, I think, is like 80-something thousand. And as big as Katie is, and she's massive, surely even Katie needs a dance partner. Croke Park, 82,500. It's a big-ass stadium. And you look at all the potential dance partners. Obviously, you're not going to go Amanda again. That's been done 3 times. You can't keep doing that to death. Chantel's been done twice. I mean, who's out there? I can't, for the life of me, I can't think of anyone unless she goes the MMA route. There was a lot of talk about Ronda Rousey. Remember that conversation? That vanished very quickly. There is a young, or say young, there's a lady called Amanda Nunes who is probably the greatest, not probably, is definitely the greatest ever female MMA fighter. There's Chris Cyborg, who's probably the second greatest ever. So she might go down that route, but I don't know if that's going to draw in the numbers. Or maybe she just does it herself. Maybe she can fill Croke Park herself. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still reading more about this fucking Frank Warren Queensbury stuff. Jesus Christ. Crazy. Richardson Hitchens, Lindolfo Delgado, IBF mandatory title fight ordered. No. Like, stop. Like, just vacate Richardson Hitchens and let Oscar Duarte versus Lindolfo Delgado happen. Richardson Hitchens clearly has a problem with this rehydration cap the IBF impose. I think it's outdated. I think the IBF needs to look at all the other sanctioning bodies. Maybe you do fight weight checks leading up to a big fight, but this, if someone makes the weight class, I think Gman said it really well on Ade and Gman. If someone makes a weight class, they've made the weight class, they should be able to rehydrate to whatever they want. I think imposing this 10 pound, 12 pound this 10 pound, 12 pounds weight cap on someone is just ridiculous. And this is clearly what Richardson Hitchens is struggling with. I think he should vacate. I'm not saying move to 147. I think he can still make 140, but making it's not the problem. It's the rehydration that's causing him a problem. So I think they should do Lindolfo versus Oscar Duarte. What's this? There's a big rumor about Alexander Usyk signing to Zuffa. And that, you know what's interesting about that rumor is there was a big rumor about a month ago about Alexander Usyk versus Andy Ruiz. Do you guys remember that? Andy Ruiz has signed to Zuffa. So there's now a lot of talk about Alexander Usyk. Kind of makes sense. Am I that interested in Usyk versus Ruiz? Not really. Would I watch it? Absolutely. Absolutely. And they would, without doubt, fight for the Zuffa heavyweight title. Absolutely. Guys, this Zuffa thing, yeah, I think it's massive. Honestly, I think it's massive. And I think I played down how big it was early. I've clearly decided to change my thoughts and opinions on it as time's gone on, but I do think they're going to be enormous. And if they get what they want over here, which is the British Boxing Board of Control to recognise the Zuffa title, if they align with Sky Sports, which I believe they most certainly will, they're gonna play a big impact on boxing going forward. All right, anyway, guys, girls, it's getting late. Just wanted to do a quick video. Thank you so much as always. Remember, subscribe to the football channel. Content is on its way.